I'm noticing on my video, on my Apeman, that the video is giving me verbal notifications that it's starting and stopping. I'm not sure what's going on there. I thought I had it set on drive mode, which my understanding is when it's you're in motion, it's supposed to automatically record. But I might be mistaken, so we'll just see how it runs. I'm not going to change any of the settings. I'm just going to run with it as it is, and then tonight when I get home, I'll look at the footage, and if I need to edit or retry, we'll do it then. This is really just more of a test to see how it runs, what kind of things I can do differently. Maybe if the where I have it placed in my truck is not satisfactory. I want to see how the mic picks up my voice, all those kind of things. So it's really, like I said, just really a test to see how it goes. I do travel a little bit for work. I have classes, activities around the state, which I'm in Alabama, by the way, and so I'm on the road a good bit. So I thought a dash cam would be a good idea for really just for my own benefit and for some safety issues. So and then, like I said, also I plan on using it in the classrooms to video our activities. So here we go across the toll bridge. Let's see if we can get going here. So it's Wednesday, December 26th. It's approximately 9:47. Just left the house, headed into Montgomery County, if you can see that sign there. We'll see how that picks up as well. So like I said, this is just, I'll be talking a lot today just about just things that kind of enter my mind, and just see how it rolls, how it works. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I plan on using this for some hunting videos as well. Here in Alabama, bow season starts in October. I can't remember if that's October 1st or not. I think it is. And it runs for the entire month of October, as well as a couple weeks in November. And then rifle season starts in mid-November. So that's primarily what I do. I don't really have a bow or a crossbow or anything like that, so I don't really do bow hunting. Plus, Alabama is so hot in general. It's just October is just really not that cold of a month for us. Maybe in the last week or so it might start to cool down, but we're expecting temperatures still into the 80s all the way through Halloween. So it's just too hot, and the deer are not moving. We get a lot of snakes down in these parts, and so you got a lot of snakes in the woods, and so it's just not fun being in the woods with the mosquitoes and maybe the rattlesnakes and whatnot. And you're not really going to see deer anyway, so I just wait until November, and then I'll hit it pretty hard. That first weekend, I think opening season actually is somewhere around the 16th, 17th, and I have to go to Pittsburgh for a corporate meeting for Snapology, so I'll be gone the opening weekend, which kind of stinks. And then I'm going to Disney World with the family Thanksgiving week, so it kind of stinks because I'm going to miss like the first 8 or 9 days of rifle season, and then come back and it'll be Thanksgiving. That weekend of Black Friday, I should be able to do a good bit of hunting, as long as the wifey is cool with that. I mean, usually she's pretty good about me, having fun with my hobbies, but we have twin girls, and leaving them at home, leaving her at home with just the girls by herself can get a little bit too much, especially if you're gone all day, so she doesn't really get a break. So but I usually only do that, go hunting like all day on a Saturday. We have pretty active church members, and so we go to church every Sunday, and then some. But she'll get a break then, and occasionally I might go hunting Sunday afternoons after church if the kids are at their Mimi Papa's, but it really kind of just depends. But yeah, so I'll hit it pretty hard, and most of my Snapology classes will kind of wind down sometime around mid-November, and I'm going to try and pick up some classes here and there and do some activities. I'm trying to kind of brainstorm on what I could do to keep busy during that 6 weeks of holiday time, because I really can't afford just to be kind of sitting on my butt, if you know what I mean. So, but it'll definitely be slower than it is now, without a doubt. But I should be able to get in a good bit of hunting during the week and on weekends, so, which is kind of exciting. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Last year I had a really bad season. It was just really poor. The year before, I had no problem. I think shooting bucks, our club has got a 8-point minimum. I just never saw any 8 points. Saw a bunch of 6s, a bunch of 4s. Just never really saw anything worth shooting. And this last year, though, I think I only saw like a doe or two. No, I saw a 6-point opening day as I was walking out, and I saw a 4-point. I was in a ground box, and I had a 4-point walk in front of me, but it was too small. It was a small 4-point at that, and it was under the camp minimum, so I just I let it go. And those are the only 2 deer I saw all year. So it was really poor, but I think it was that way for most folks at the camp and around town. So I don't know what the deal was with it was. This week we have a work day out at the camp to plant the green fields, so I'll be out there with my buddies pretty much all day. I'll probably get there about 8, stay till at least noon or 1 o'clock. Which that's not all day, obviously, but it's all day for my wife. If you're married and have kids, you understand that joke. But it looks like they're doing some construction work here, some shoulder work, maybe put some guardrail in. They're sending me over, but I actually kind of used to do that kind of work for the state right out of college. I'm a civil engineer by education. I went to Auburn University, War Eagle, and I got my degree in civil engineering and worked for the state of Alabama for 3 or 4 years in the highway department. Worked on some bridge jobs, some resurfacing jobs, little maintenance jobs here and there, but it was good work. I enjoyed it. But I was single at the time, and I was kind of living in some small towns, and it was just kind of being single, and right out of college, there was some money in my pocket for the first time. It was kind of boring, and so I actually ended up moving to Atlanta. Lived there for about 10 years, and just had a blast. Just got into everything. Had some good friends there, and just always something going on. If you've never lived in a big city, you might not think you might not enjoy it, but it's actually a lot of fun, and you get to see some things, especially if you're young and single, or or at least young. Maybe you're attached, but before you're married and have a family, it's a really fun place to kind of grow up and develop some interests and hobbies and friendships. And then once you get married, life slows down a little bit, and you have kids, it's, moving off out to the suburbs of the country. That's all fine and dandy. But I enjoyed my time in Atlanta. And anyway, then I moved. Lack of storage.